wonder if they know that black lung has nothing to do with DEI. I swear this whole thing is backwards, because how do you make health cuts while at the same time advocate for the type of job that poses a massive health risk? So hear this. The Trump administration's efforts to expand coal mining while simultaneously imposing deep cuts to agencies tasked with ensuring miner health and safety has left some advocates dumbfounded. Remember something very specific. Elon went from saying that he could save about $2 trillion to $150 billion. Maybe. Now, the reason why that's even significant is because they're making cuts in areas where they really shouldn't make cuts.
Like a bidet.
So Erin Bates, a spokesperson for the United Mine Workers of America, she made it very clear, if you're not going to protect the health and safety of the miners, there's not going to be anyone to work in the mines you apparently are reopening.
The closure of an office in St. Clairsville would result in savings of over $430,000. However, the possibility brings concerns to mine workers.
These offices, were created in order to protect the health and safety of our miners. One of the things that they do is they do inspections of the mine, make sure that the mine is safe and make sure that the company or the organization is following all the required protocol in order to make sure that these mines are as safe as possible for the miners that are working in them.
The location of the office is based on proximity to the mines it serves. So Bates says that if these offices close, it will cause longer traveling times for inspectors to get on site, risking the safety of miners.
Obviously, we don't want any of the MSHA offices shut down. They're there for a reason. They were open in order to protect the health and safety of our miners. If they are going to close down an office, I hope they take into consideration how it's going to affect the number of inspections that are supposed to be taking place and how often those inspections are taking place.
We reached out to Congressman Michael Rowley's office, which issued a statement saying, in part, it's important to note that core safety regulations at both the federal and state levels will remain in place and will continue to be enforced. I am committed to making sure these essential worker protections are not compromised.
So as it stands right now, coal represents about 15% of the power that's generated within the U.S. electrical grid. For the most part, if you have a chance to talk to any of these guys, they just want to do their job and go home, like anyone else. This is why it's a little bit puzzling to see that you advocate for this type of job to continue and then be enhanced, but then you start removing some of the safety measures that benefit the employee.
There was no other way.
So hear this, even as coal mining has shrunk, the potential dangers for people who still work in the field remain high. Pneumoconiosis is among the best known occupational hazards faced by coal miners, but it's far from the only risk they face. Others include roof collapse, hearing loss, lung cancer.
I've seen enough.
But that's also why it's a little bit confusing to see DOGE make that move, but then RFK impose a 10,000 person cut to the Federal Department of Health and Human Services.
To that end, I'm also instructing Secretary Wright to save the Chuy coal plant in Arizona, big plant, which has been slated for destruction. We're going to keep those coal miners on the job. Going to tell them to just remain calm, because we're going to have that plant opening and burning the clean coal, beautiful clean coal, in a very short period of time. You know all about that, right?
But this is precisely why I say it almost makes no sense, because black lung is still very much a real thing.
My name's Scott Laney. I work for the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. Last week, my job was RIFT, along with our entire institute. What we do at NIOSH is look out for the health and safety of all U.S. workers. I specifically work with the Coal Workers Health Surveillance Program. This provides x-rays to coal miners in the United States. That program's been shuttered. And so if a miner gets early stages of black lung, we can provide them the opportunity to move out of that dusty environment to another part of the mine that doesn't have so much exposure, to slow down the disease progression. That program has been entirely shut down. Everyone's devastated, and I mean, there's a level of devastation, personal devastation of no longer having a job themselves. But after a few days, all of the conversation that I've been having with my colleagues has been real stress about the impact that our work not being conducted is going to have on the U.S. working populace, that firefighter deaths are going to go investigated, that cancer registries for firefighters are going to be closed, that the masks that we all had during COVID-19 that NIOSH certifies, that laboratory has been shut down. And so I think that there's a lot of concern that the next disaster that may be facing a U.S. workplace, we won't be able to respond.
So with that being said, Elon did actually say that sometimes they make mistakes, and when they make those kind of mistakes, they will go back and they will make those kind of corrections. And couple that with the fact that there are talks that Elon apparently is stepping down. So I guess we'll see what comes of that. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.